This is it, the final round of the 2023 season of the Virtual Drift Championship. Mathematically, only 4 people can win it, but first, they must conquer 16 clipping points at Yilling's Ringen. This layout is not just technical, it's an endurance, testing every driver and their car, making this the most intimidating layout so far. So without further ado, let's head straight into qualifying, the final qualifying session for the 2023 season of the Virtual Drift Championship. So here we go as we flick it into the first corner into clipping point 1. As you can see, run on the right, maybe a tad bit more angle on initiation, but overall these runs are looking identical. You'd actually could mistake them for being the same run. So that's pretty good on our behalf, doing the same runs back to back, but there is slight differences. You can see the run on the left had a little wobble of angle going in there. The run on the right looked a bit smoother as we transition here up the hill. I don't know any of these clipping point numbers. Just 16 clipping points, so I get lost very, very easily. So I think I'm just going to ignore them. And the one mistake we make here is going into the final wall here. You can see the run on the right has a little bit of a wobble, but the wall run is more or less the same. And the difference in scoring, the run on the left scoring a 96.3, which tied Zach O'Sullivan and Tigon Pileski. The run on the right scored a 97.3, and that extra point gave us first in qualifying. I think it's a little bit kind. I do think the mistake at the end was a little bit bigger than that, what maybe the judges thought. But look, that extra 2 points in qualifying meant a lot. Zach qualifying second. He's currently leading the championship. We need to get as many points back off him as possible if we have any shot at taking this championship away from him. So yeah, first into qualifying, top 32 is next. Let's see how we go. And here we go, straight into top 32 against Austin Meeks, ex FD Pro 1 driver in his Cadillac CTSV, or ATSV should I say. And yeah, you can see straight away we have a bit of a proximity gap on Austin. Austin made a little mistake on the chase run on the right hand side, but you know, as we go down the power alley here, we're much closer to Austin. Maybe not matching angle as like he is, but we're really maintaining the balance of angle. As you can see, Austin runs wide on the right hand side on the inner clip. As we transition up the hill here once again, we're staying with Austin all the way. But we're definitely looking a little bit cleaner. Austin's cutting some curves. He's trying to catch back up in certain areas. He's not really matching angle. And as we transition into the final transition one last time, Austin on the inside of the track in the chase run, and we're absolutely all over his door. And yeah, that was enough for us to get the win and move on into the top 16. Austin Meeks, obviously being an ex-FD driver, knows how to drive, and it's great to see him on the grid in VDC. It's always a pleasure to see his awesome Cadillac in action, and hopefully we'll see him back again next year as well, as it's awesome to have other real-life drivers competing as well. Okay, top 16 versus Austin Zaleski in his Toyota Supra, and this battle was very, very close. And yeah, as you can see, initiating, Austin has a little wobble on his lead run, but we're pretty clinical in our lead run, as we're pretty even on proximity here. We're going maybe a little bit faster. You can see the run on the left a little bit faster than Austin and his lead run, but he's right there with us. He's really closing up proximity. Maybe not as clean as we are in the chase position. He's a bit of a wobble there in the lead run going to the inner clipping point, but you know, I mean, proximity wise, these runs are almost the same. The lead runs do have their differences, and that's what's probably going to set the difference here. But as we go in here, as you can see on the right hand side, we go in and there's a bit of a contact on the wall, and we will show that clip a little bit in a moment. But as you can see, as we go into that wall, yeah, Austin is still on the handbrake in the non-decel area, which the judges felt was not allowed. Now, I will think that the decel was probably a tad short for this particular track layout. It should have been a little bit longer. So I think, look, the judges are just judging to the rule book that they set for this particular event. I think if the rule book had, you know, if the decel zone was correctly placed, I do feel that Austin would have gotten the win there. So I do think we were a little bit lucky there. The rule book played in our hands, and we move on into the top 8. In top 8, we go up against Ernestas Jakubelis, one of the Urta esports drivers. These guys are fantastic pilots from Lithuania. And as you can see, we flick it in hard once again. And Ernestas had a little wobble on initiation, but as we power down the alley, power alley, as we go through clip 6 here into 7 into the inner clip, we transition, and Ernestas is right there with us. Maybe not really pushing our door, but he's really applying the pressure, making sure that yeah, he's getting a good solid chase run and really using the lead run that we're giving him. As he falls back a little bit going up the hill, but he closes back right up to us, and our lead run here is the same as our qualifying run. So we transition onto the wall here once again. A pretty decent commitment there as we have the wing over the wall, as we pull a tiny bit of a gap on Ernestas over the finish line. And we swap positions around. This time we are chasing Ernestas as he goes in for a flick initiation, and we really commit to him here initiation, really try to match his angle, and we do a really good job not to cut any curb there, which is crucial. And we're really right there with him all the way down the power alley here as we now transition into clip 6 into 7 here. Once again, we're going to give a nice close transition onto the door here, into the inner clipping point 8. And as yeah, we power up the hill once again, and HynesZ doing a nice clean lead run here. Maybe not as clean as our lead run, but he's really giving us a good opportunity to chase him. But we're really pushing him. We're really putting ourselves into that pocket and making sure we're utilizing everything that he does. Give a bit of space in the final transition and close back up again onto the door, across the line. And yeah, that was a fantastic battle with our HynesZ. Easily could have gone one more time, but I think we did definitely do the cleaner of the two runs. We had a cleaner chase, and I think we had a cleaner lead, and I think we took a few more chances with commitment and stuff, and I think the judges saw that and they felt that they gave us the win, and we move on into the top 4. So here we go, the top 4. This is it. At this stage, Zach O'Sullivan has already made the top 4, and we need to make sure we get into the finals if we have any hope of winning this championship. And first of all, we have to go through Daniel, and Daniel makes a mistake on initiation, Mr. DCGP 2023 champion. So this guy knows how to drive, he knows how to compete. And as we go down to the power alley, he's right there with us. He's a lovely transition behind us, but has a wobble in the chase run. Our lead run here is still clinical as always. Same lead run that we've been doing since qualifying, and that is crucial to our chase in the championship. We need to make sure we do the same lead runs, and Daniel knows this. Daniel's pushing us all the way to the final transition. He does a nice transition here onto the door once again, and as we power across the finish line, Daniel's right there with us. He's putting the pressure on us. Now we switch positions. This time we're to chase in Daniel Adrijev. And as he flicks in once again, we flick in nicely with him. He has a bit of a weird wobble there perhaps, but we really stick it with him. And we really need to stay with him down the power alley, which we do not do. He pulls a bit of a gap down the straight here, and we now have to close back up again, but we do match angle pretty good, which I think saves ourselves. And he goes over angles a tiny bit, but we're cleaning the chase point, at the chase run at this point. We can just now up the hill once again. We're right there with Dan. We're now pushing him down back the hill once again. And this time I do think we're kind of gaining advantage here. One last transition will say a lot. And we transition back onto the door as we really push him. Daniel giving us all the lead run room that we need. And wow, what a chase run. Again, another run that could have gone one more time. But again, I think it falls down to the differences of lead run versus chase run. I do feel we made way less mistakes in the chase run. Maybe not as aggressive, maybe not as proximity hungry, especially in the power alley section. But we were definitely much cleaner, especially in diesel areas in the chase run. And I think our lead run was a little bit better too. So I think... yeah, I think it's pretty clear cut. We get the win and move on into the finals. In the finals, we have Zach O'Sullivan. By this stage, Zach has already won the championship. So this is the battle for glory. This is the battle between the two guys who could have won the championship in the end. And as you can see, Zach is really trying to show to us that he deserves to be that champion, pushing us down the power alley as we go through clipping point 7. Transition here once again into the final inner clipping point number, I don't know, number 8 or whatever this is. Power back up a hill once again. Zach really closes back up in the proximity. And yeah, wow, what a chase run here from Zach. We're giving him really good lead run here up the front, up in front, but we transition one last time into the final wall section, and we put a bit of a gap on Zach, and as we kind of maintain that gap all the way to the finish line. And yeah, Zach maybe not matching angle in certain areas there, so we're really going to have to make sure we better that in our chase run as we power down the straight, and we're going to flick it in hard against Zach, and we actually carry more angle than Zach hits the first corner, but we straighten ourselves up and manage to match angle all the way through these inner clipping points, through clip 5 once again, up against the 6, down the power alley through 7. We're rubbing doors with him. We're going to do a nice aggressive transition into 8 here, and then we're now going to go back up the hill once again. Transition close once again to Zach, pushing him along the these couple of outer clipping points. We're giving him a few taps along the door. Make sure to tell him that we are here. We want this win. Transition one last time into the final wall, and another tap again the door, and we're really pushing him across that line. Wow, what a battle between Zach and I. Yeah, again, look, the battle of the champions. We really wanted to see who was going to be the best driver, who really deserved the championship. And yeah, obviously at this point, Zach had already won the championship. He didn't need to do anything else. In fact, he didn't even need to drive at all. He had done enough to get that championship. What we needed to be able to take that championship from Zach was we needed to qualify first, we needed to win the event, and we also need to make sure that Zach finished outside of the finals. And unfortunately, Zach managed to get into the finals. He did what he needs to do. We did everything that we could have done, which is qualifying first and obviously winning the final event of this season, which yeah puts us second in points, 7 points behind Zach O'Sullivan. So what a championship, what a season. And it just goes to show that consistency is key. Obviously, Zach taking that with the consistency. We lacked a bit of consistency. We missed a few events. Well, we missed one event. And we had some unfortunate results throughout the way with some events that we could have won perhaps, but it's hard to obviously speculate that, and what had happened, and that is that. So that is where we're going to end this season. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy this little season of the VDC review series. And yeah, we'll be back again next year for another VDC Championship. 2024 season is right around the corner. I'm looking forward to it. But for now, we've got some real drifting to do. We've got to compete in a real life car. This coming weekend, we'll be competing in Drift Masters. I hope you guys will be checking it out. And yeah, we will see you guys all there. Cheers, goodbye, we'll see you soon.